Hey guys, good Sunday afternoon to you. It is Sunday, 2 o'clock. It's about 75 degrees. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm on a bike as usual, and we are making our way down to the National Mall and the White House as usual. But I thought before we got there, why don't we go down into Rock Creek Park on this last warm day before winter arrives and just take a look at what it looks like as we make our way downtown. There we go. Now we can go down this way. So back up in this area is a collection of about, well over a dozen embassies, including the Israeli embassy, which is right here on my right. They've got a tad bit of extra security right now, as you can imagine. But most of the protests have been down at the White House, not really up here. I think there was a support protest that took place here. But yeah, generally pretty darn quiet. This big beast that just came up in the last few years, this is the Chinese embassy. They built a brand new facility up here. In fact, I think they brought in Chinese construction teams. Actually, slept on site while they were building it, sleeping in shipping containers and stuff, which caused some controversy. On my left is the University of the District of Columbia, which is the state public school for D.C. residents. And this is their main campus. And on the right is the former Intelsat building. It used to be a huge international satellite consortium, and they moved out to Virginia. And this building is pretty much empty ever since. They've tried a few different things, but nothing's taken. All right, 4200 block of Connecticut. There was a stabbing here this morning. Yeah, I got an alert. Actually, I woke up at 7:30 to the police cars screaming out of the police station, and I got an alert a bit later that someone got stabbed there. Life in the big city. Waking me up in the morning. All right, we're gonna have to go down this big hill over here, and then we'll get into Rock Creek. There's a road in Rock Creek known as Beach Drive. That's the main road, but there's a section of it that's actually closed to vehicles, and it's a beautiful place for a bike ride, and I think I'm gonna take you down there. On the right, I believe that's the Embassy of Kuwait. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, State of Kuwait. That's the Embassy of Kuwait. There's a few other diplomatic compounds up here, residences of ambassadors mostly. Pretty posh residences. Anyway, let's go down this hill and try not to get killed. Oh boy. So they seem to have another bicycle with a brake problem. I'm at full brakes right now. At least on the rear. Anyway, let's just hope nothing gets in front of us. We'll have to use the kid backup of slamming our shoes on the ground. Whoa! We have absolutely no ability to stop. This is kind of cool. I guess if I pump the brakes, maybe I can get some stopping motion. There we go. That's about as good as we're gonna get. All right. Oof. Okay, we're off that. Ooh, that was a bit sketchy. Oh, there's a public allotment, it looks like. I cannot believe how bad these brakes are. So this is Pierce Mill. This used to be a mill back in the 1800s, I guess. It was a water-powered mill because they built a little dam over here. There we can see it. Well, the water's pretty low right now. But there's the dam for the mill. And we're gonna go upriver a bit and see what we can see. But first, let's see if we can fix these brakes. All right, result of our brake check is that we still have no brakes. We'll figure it out later. And here we go. Beach Drive, non-motor vehicle use. Yep, everybody's out for a walk. The leaves have sort of taken over the road since there's no cars to blow them off. Is the creek? Off on the right, though, you can see all the rocks that are in Rock Creek, giving it its name. It would be fun to canoe this creek, but the problem is whenever the water overflows, the sewage overflows, and Rock Creek becomes essentially a sewer for whatever is up in this part of town. It's kind of a shame, such a beautiful place. Here's the bridge. Go take a look at it if you want. There's the bridge. Nice and pretty, isn't it? Okay, guys, we decided to come out into the creek, give you guys a little bit better view of what I'm seeing. There we go. Pretty cool. Okay, enough with the bridge. Let's swing back onto the road. It's an old pedestrian bridge up to one of the trails that goes up into the park. And of course, many, many, many more rocks. Let's just keep going up this road. So up here is a Park Police police station. This is a national park, so it's U.S. Park Police with jurisdiction, and there are rangers here. Quite a few cops up here today. Yeah, let's just keep going up over the road and see what we see up ahead. Family picnic. That's very DC. Big family picnic. Let's go up here and see what we can see. I think there's something you guys might like. A while ago, one of you was watching my channel and you said, I used to love going to Rock Creek Park, and I remember very much that there was a place where you could ford the river in a car. Is that ford still around? Well, maybe. Well, they've kind of let it grow over, but this was a ford on Rock Creek, and I don't know if we can ride through it or not. Oh, sand. Yeah, I didn't hit the record button. Such is life. Hey, pup. Oh. Well, we made it. Okay. So, for those who are asking, yes, there is still a ford in the Rock Creek. And it's not that deep. It's kind of deep. I have wet shoes. Okay, let's head back. Gave this bike a nice bath. Okay, you guys asked? Yes, there is still a ford in Rock Creek, and it is still passable on a bicycle. It is not passable on a car. They've blocked off the road, but anyway, you guys wanted to see it? There it was. Let's make our way downtown now, okay? I might have to change shoes. Here's that stone bridge we saw earlier as we make our way back downtown. Oh, lots of tourists up here today. A blind corner. A little bit scary. Oh, birthday party with a parachute. Oh, no, Girl Scout. Brownies. It's Brownie Scouts. I don't have any Girl Scout cookies here. I could go for cookies. All right, we're going to start crossing bridges over the creek. We'll be going over about 5 or 6 of these bridges as we make our way down to the White House. A little dog. All righty. Blue sky today. It's kind of gray earlier this morning, but it's cleared up a little. Okay, we're in the tunnel under the zoo's veterinary clinic. This is the shortcut rather than riding all the way around the mountain. Just, you gotta go through a tunnel, which is not really that much fun. And we're out. Woohoo! All right, that saved us quite a bit of time. There we go. That is the bridge to Adams Morgan from Woodley Park. I've taken you over that on the upper level a few times. And our next bridge will be the Taft Bridge, I believe, which is Connecticut Avenue. And it's really tall. Taller than this one. On the left, though, is the entrance to the Park Police Stables. That's the main mounted division headquarters for the Park Police, back in there. And there you can see the Taft Bridge. Really quite huge, isn't it? Alrighty. Pretty clouds today, no? Alright, let's keep going into the park and make our way downtown. Now, a few months ago, you guys saw me cover a rescue where a gal came flying down on a bicycle down this path and went straight off into the creek because this part of the bridge had been broken for months. Well, after that incident, that was fixed immediately. Now we have a railing there, but still, it's a downhill into a 90-degree turn. It's a bit sus. Next bridge up is Massachusetts Avenue Bridge. Just up behind me on the left, that's where Barack Obama keeps his Washington D.C. house. And up ahead on the right, that is where Hillary and Bill Clinton have their house. They all kind of live in the same neighborhood. All right, let's keep going downtown. Ooh, now over here on the left are a bunch of porta potties, and that's because today the Marine Corps Marathon was run in Washington, D.C. 30,000 runners made their way up Rock Creek, taking a little bathroom break here if they needed, before running around downtown and across the river over to Arlington Cemetery and finishing at the Iwo Jima Memorial. That was a big race. I don't know, it's actually got a lot of professional runners come out and run it competitively. Not sure what the final time was, but it certainly pro caliber. Okay, one more bridge. I think this is our final bridge over Rock Creek. And now we make our way into Georgetown and the downtown areas of the city. Now up over there you can see a tent. Yeah, there are people that live here in Rock Creek illegally. The Park Police doesn't really enforce the camping rules all that strictly. If there's trouble, they'll kick them out, but generally they let them be alone, let well enough alone. Up here is the Dumbarton Bridge. This is also known as the Buffalo Bridge and the Indian Head Bridge because of all the Indian headdresses carved into the stone. There you can see them. This bridge is on a curve because back in the old day they didn't really worry about how much bridges would cost. So they just went ahead and built it on a curve. It's pretty cool. And down here is P Street. P Street is part of Georgetown. So if we were to go up here, we'd be right up by, kind of up by Julia Child's house, which I showed you guys the other day. But we're going to stay on Rock Creek and make our way down to the Kennedy Center, I think. Okay, well, that's it. We're in downtown. We're right outside of the Watergate Hotel. This is where the Democratic National Committee was. And right over there with the Howard Johnsons where the burglars were, and there goes a car in the wrong direction. Whatever. We're going to make our way down. You can just see the Washington Monument. The big stick is off in the distance. We're going to go take a run around the White House, see what's new, and then we're going to get some food. Riding through creeks makes you very hungry. Okay, so we are down in the Foggy Bottom area. That is the State Department right over on my right, and the construction on the Federal Reserve over there as well. I'm going to cut through this park, though. This is where all the homeless have gone after they closed McPherson Square. They basically relocated over to this park. So the park downtown is now homeless free, but then this park is now a homeless camp 3 blocks from the White House. Okay, and it's actually spreading already. They're going over into that park now. Guess they need more room. It is not really that safe. There's often people coming through here, violent people, drug people, people with mental illness and whatnot. It's a little rough on some of the residents. Okay, let's head up to the White House. We're just around the block. So Biden is in Delaware today. He is not in the White House. Right over there is the old White House. That's the Octagon House. The War of 1812, when the British burned the White House, that became the White House. In fact, just above the door there is a curved room, the first Oval Office. Yeah, that was the Oval Office where the Treaty of Ghent was signed in 1814, ending the War of 1812. All in that little house. It's still kind of a museum. I've taken you on tours of that in the past. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get up to the White House, the new White House, the real White House. Doesn't seem like there's many protests today. Oh, there's a few. This is Blair House, the White Building. That's the official guest residence of the United States. That's where the Australian Prime Minister stayed when he was here. And that's where the Vice President Harris stayed for a few months while they were renovating her place. Oh, it looks like the Ethiopians are out here, the Eritreans. I can never remember which one. But they're pretty regular on the protest scene. And we got some Iranians protesting. So we got Iranians out here, Ethiopians over here. There's guaranteed to be a Ukrainian. There's probably a few others. And Iranians, I think, yeah. And Jehovah's Witnesses. Pretty normal Sunday. Yesterday we had the Gaza protest, and a really right-wing group, what's they're called, National Justice Party, came out to protest funding to Israel. They were in the Unite the Right rally in Virginia that caused all the press attention and whatnot. Oh, this is the Piano Man. Looks like he's taking a nap. We're playing congrats. Okay, guys, so White House was kind of boring. We're now down in Georgetown making our way to get some lunch. I'm thinking Rocklands. How about you guys? Yeah, we haven't had barbecue in a while. But to get to Rocklands, we got to ride through all the pretty streets of Georgetown in the fall, which isn't too much of a bad thing to do. So let's cut up through Georgetown and get our way up to Glover Park. We're at 30th and N Street, for those of you who like me to follow along and tell you where things are. I was down here the other day. This is Ben Bradley's house on the left, the editor of the Washington Post, when the Pentagon Papers and all the President's Men took place. And then down up here is another house. This was Averell Harriman's house, former governor of New York. And this is where Jackie Kennedy took refuge after John F. Kennedy had died. She lived there only a few months until the paparazzi discovered she was there and staked out the house on a daily basis. Let's keep going. Some pretty houses up here. Someone wrote the other day that Washington does Halloween a lot more than they do Christmas. And that's true. Everybody, all these houses are decorated for Halloween. Christmas, sorry, might be lucky to have one person that puts out Christmas lights. This one's a bit excessive. Okay, you guys know where I'm at. Yeah, it is time. Time for some barbecue. Here I go, man.
Oh, chicken set.
Great, thank you.
Fried. And not before.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Okay, that was a pretty good sandwich. I haven't had one of those in a few weeks. Anyway, we're back up by the National Cathedral. We'll go take a look at there, see what it looks like today, and then we'll call it a day. Tomorrow we'll be up at the White House in the morning and in the evening if everything goes right. But for now, let's just go look at some trees and pass the cathedral. Okay, welcome back to the National Cathedral, where we end and start most of our videos every day. It is turned out to be a glorious blue sky kind of day, hasn't it? Okay, so that is the scene at the National Cathedral, Rock Creek, White House, etc. on a Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll give you more shots of Washington, D.C., more excitement, more helicopters. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.